Good evening, all. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you in the Edukos United of Scholars family to the Infinite REK Global Power Talks. I would like to thank all the principals, teachers, and educators on behalf of Edukos United of Scholars for gracing this awesome occasion, and Dr. Ratish Gupta, the founder and director of Edukos United of Scholars, for making this dream initiative take shape with full vigor. As most of you are aware, we are launching the Infinite REK Global Power Talks event today. It is a grandiose social media platform designed by us, backed by, of course, the global community of educators here, mental health experts, motivational speakers, life skill trainers, and we cannot be more excited. The main agenda for today is going to be a power talk on the topic Building Resilience in Students by Ms. Gurpreet Mathur, who is the principal of Genius International Public School, Punjab. And the host for our show, further to this, is the very charming Ms. Sonesh Bharadwaj, an international motivational speaker as well. Edukos Unite of Scholars, my friends, you've always seen that it has strived hard towards providing recognition to all the principals, directors, teachers, and educators who need so much of appreciation for their efforts, but unfortunately, many a time it goes unrecognized. And it has also been taking initiatives to organize virtual award ceremonies to give great recognition and appreciation for your efforts. And with Infinite Global Power Talks, we are just going one step further, my friends. Our mission is to continue serving the educational fraternity, but this time ranging from scholars to even students through the exchange of powerful knowledge, diversifying situation-based learning, and sharing solution-based ideas through these power talks. Here, you will also get the opportunity to share your inspiring thoughts and experiences from life. And what better than that, right? And it also provides an international platform for you to create your identity worldwide. So yes, we are in the midst of a revolution here, and we want to make this journey smooth, exciting, and value-packed for all of you. And the next 1 hour today is just the beginning, my folks. So we'll have Dr. Ratish Gupta, the founder and director, addressing us soon after. But after the auspicious inauguration of this event by his daughter, Radhika, through a beautiful rendering of the Ganesh Vandana to mark the launch of this fabulous event, I wholeheartedly once again welcome all of you to this Power Talk show. And thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. Thank you so much. Welcome, Radhika. That was a fantastic performance. Thank you so much for this, Radhika. May I now call upon Dr. Ratish Gupta to give us his precious views on the plans forward for REK Global Power Talks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much to all, and very good evening and welcome to all. Namaste, India, and all our global participants. First of all, I would like to pay my sincere gratitude to Ms. Rita Gopalkrishnan, Dr. Malka Agrawal, and Ms. Sonish Bhardwaj, and my guest speaker, Dr. Gurmeet Mat, for such a humble given gesture. She has given us the tremendous speech for the evening. So finally, the wait is over. The highly awaited to platform is here. So basically, it was a dream project of Edukos Unite of Scholars. And there are lots of efforts have been made by lots of people, Edukos members, and some people as well. So let's get into a new world is the knowledge wisdom. Backed by transforming experience, and last but not the least, you will definitely gain something from REK Power Talks. So kindly fasten up your seatbelt, because you never know, and you could be the next on REK platforms. So without taking any more times, proceed with the evening, because even I'm pretty much extent to experience the same. So now so Dr. Malka Agrawal and Ms. Sonish Bhardwaj will be taking up the board for further proceeding in the evening. Can we have you on the board, ma'am? Over to Dr. Malka Agrawal, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ratish. A very good evening to all the viewers who have joined us today here on our new venture, Infinite's REK, REK Power Educational Talks. I, on behalf of Edukos Unite, welcome you all because you all have joined us today, sparing out time. Trust me, friends, you are going to get the best out of it. I'm sure all of you are excited, and so are we. As Dr. Ratish just now said, it was a dream project. It was a dream, not only his, but many of us. Many of the members of Edukos Unites, including me, always wanted this. And today it's a dream come true. And I do fall short of words because I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. It's a mixture of feelings. I really don't know how to express it. So, friends, we started somewhere last year. It's just been a couple of months. We started with various ceremonies called yogas, shadow, sledding, followed by n number of educational workshops, for all our students, friends, educators all across the globe. And of course, we do have lot many members, not only from India, but from all across the globe. Thank you, everybody, for sharing us with so much of love and supporting us every moment. We look forward for your support each day, each moment. So, friends, let's proceed further for today's evening. That's all from Dr. Malka Agrawal, Chief Learning Officer, Edukos Unite of Scholars. So I would like to thank Rita for opening the show with so much of power. So I'm sure you all are excited. It's going to be a power-packed evening. And now I'll hand over to Miss Sunesh, who is going to carry forward to take us through this evening. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Malika. I think you have given up a complete power pack start. And thank you so very much to Miss Rita and Dr. Ratesh for having a wonderful opening and introducing so brilliantly about this platform. Now, let me take the momentum on. And as we all know that today evening is going to be very, very special because we do have a very special guest with us to just share her experience, her knowledge, her wisdom, and no doubt it's going to be a wonderful Sunday evening for all of us. But before that, let me just add slightly a spice to this whole evening because I believe that whenever we are together as a team, as a fraternity, we all need to enjoy, irrespective of wherever we are sitting, which part of globe we are. I think we all are lovely and wonderful souls. So I welcome, first of all my viewers, all the lovely and beautiful souls across the globe who are watching us, listening us live, and enjoy Sunday evening with such a powerful wisdom of learning and going through knowledge a lot. But before that, Let me just share a quick thing on REK Power Talk, that why we need to have such kind of platforms and why we need to have a sync between education and transformation. I personally believe education transforms both societies and people in a particular direction by shaping and reshaping their patterns of thoughts, means of problem solving, and ways of life. This will then contribute to further individual and social transformation. The technological revolution will continue to rapidly change society and the workforce. In order for people to just take advantage of opportunities in this new world, their ability to adapt, their initiative, and persistence to acquire skills and knowledge during their lives will be critical. While the responsibility of education systems is to prepare students for this new reality, we need to focus more on value based education. Now, what I mean when I talk about value based education, let me just quickly give you a small preface of it. A value based education aims at training the students to face the outer world with the right attitude and values. It is a process of overall personality development of a student. It includes character development, personality development, citizen development, and most important, which is almost a missing piece, called spiritual development. Because according to a human psychology, these all four areas are pretty much required to live a life to a balanced state. The movement towards a more student centered, personalized education that allows learners to develop 21st century competencies and skills must become the main objective of all the actors involved, including the state, teachers, and the private sector. So the use of a widely variety of technologies to facilitate this transformation will be fundamental. They are a critical tool for creating opportunities to democratize access to, customize, and transform the teaching and learning processes. And that's why we all are here today on this wonderful evening on a wonderful platform of REK Power Talks, because we believe that it's not only about traditional way of teaching, it's much more beyond it. And let's understand what is this much more beyond it from the complete genius, I would say, personality with us today, because she's the one I think who has mastered this wonderful art of taking education through different roles. So without further delay, I'd love to introduce for today's evening our special guest, Dr. Gurpreet Mathur. Ladies and gentlemen, All right. Thank you so very much for sharing. What a lovely video of Dr. Gurpreet. I think the pictures are self talking pictures, but I think slightly my spice of adding few words to this wonderful personality is still missing. Okay. So let me do my part. So, ma'am, I'll just take 1 minute and I'll definitely love to add my wordings towards you. Right. So, Dr. Gurpreet Mathur, Director, Genius International Public School, Punjab, City Coordinator, member of various inspection teams, mentor Solon Sahodya. But the most fascinating thing which I love to tell about her is she is a private pilot license holder. That's so fascinating, and I'm going to ask her most likely post show that how we can go and get into, right? So many achievements, but without further delay, let me just invite Gurpreet ma'am to be on stage and take over the dais and to just share her experience and knowledge and power of wisdom, and just going to get into the entire learning mode. So I welcome you on behalf of Edukos Unite and the entire family of educators, ma'am. We welcome wholeheartedly on this wonderful dais. Stage is all yours, ma'am. Please take over.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much, Ms. Bhardwaj. What a start of the program. Radhika, a beautiful young girl, the way she has invoked all the power into the session, she has brought in the blessings of Lord Ganesha, and without invocation of, God's blessings, we cannot proceed. Well, she presented so very well, and Rita and Mrs. Malika Garewal and Dr. Ratish and you are all powerhouses, and I have been seeing so many programs, was part of one of the program earlier as well, and I really enjoy, the way the vigor, that power is infused into the system. Thank you very, very much. Today, I am going to speak on building resilience in our children, students. Life is not a bed of roses. It has been very clearly said. Life is a roller coaster. It goes up and it comes down any minute. And we experience different kind of emotions throughout the day. Some, they bless us with happiness, others sometimes pull us down. And when we are pulled down, at times the thing stays in our mind for long, many days, and that casts an impact. Ladies and gentlemen, I will like to show you two situations. May I share my PPT, madam? Please, I had requested.
Yes, ma'am. Just a moment.
So you all can see that there are two situations. In first situation, the girl is learning to ride the bicycle. She falls down, and a very protective mother rushes to pick the child up, and the child starts crying, and probably she tells her that forget about it altogether. We will not at all ride the bicycle. Parents at times do. And in second situation, probably in first situation, the child abandoned cycling at that moment, and later you can think of what might have happened. So situation two, the girl is riding her bike, she falls down, the protective mother rushes, she tells the child, it is okay, sweetheart, you can fall down, but you have to get up, right? You are a brave child. Let me nurse your injuries. And then she again starts teaching her riding on the bicycle. So in both the situations, the parents are caring. In first situation, the mother has not assured the child that falling is okay. Everybody falls, right? But in second situation, it has been very clearly indicated that the child can fall, but then the child has to brave it up, has to get up again, right? And so this is it. The life is, and the child gets the assurance from the mother, and probably rides the bike and moves on. This was situation two. Now, whatever you have taken from these both the situations, they very clearly, tell a story that life is not easy. Even if, as a child, you ride a bicycle, or you board a bus, or you raise a building, or you do any kind of things, maybe household codes or anywhere. Recently, we came to know that in MP, one child had fallen in the well, and there were certain rescuers who were helping her out. But then it was a big tragedy that the land sunk in, and it was a big mishap. So life is full of challenges. Day in and day out, there are different kind of challenges. My dear friends, today evening I am going to take you through how can we build resilience in our children, and what is resilience. I'll come to it. Now, what is resilience? Resilience is getting up, right? Getting up. And there are n number of traumas. When we handle those traumas, when we recover from them, when we get the calm and composure, you know, um, ourselves once again, we become calm and composed. That is resilience. Resilience is actually not a muscle power. It is like a muscle power. You know, as muscles are built by and by in a baby, when the baby is born, has very poor muscles, mother massages, and then it is proper nutrition, care, and muscles are built up. Similarly, resilience is built up by and by. It is not a game of a day. It is not any preachings that somebody is done with. It cannot be a short term training. So resilience is bouncing back. It is getting up and facing the world all over again with newfound energy. Different kind of things happen in life. As just now, there can be trail of challenges in our life on an everyday basis, or it can be weekly, or sometimes in the past, or somewhere it might have happened. But then it is whatever has happened, we have recovered from that traumatic situation, we have come forth, we are moving on. That is resilience. So why it is important? It is very important because we want to make our children safe. We want to make our children, happy, and we want to tell them that we are with them. We want to assure that they understand empathy, and they go on. Everybody is aware the present situation of COVID. Nobody is untouched with it. It has pulled us back in all the spheres. Maybe it is social, it is environmental, or it is financial. Everywhere there has been influence, you know and we have seen that people have become very restless, children have become very restless, so are their parents and teachers. Now they are restless because it was home imprisonment, right? It was that, it was lock up every side. The schools are closed, everything was closed, and now till now even the schools have not opened up, not in my state. So, the impact is that the children have felt very, very, isolated, alone, dejected. Why? The reason is that, they could not share their emotions with their peers. So the difficulty came, the mental growth, the emotional growth, everything halted for a while. They were in their family. The families were also having very, very rough patch, very difficult patch. And, I think, during that time, they were also not able to understand the children. So this problem has occurred more. And whenever I talk to parents, what do I find from them? They say that, we do not know what to do with the children. They don't listen. They don't listen. They do not participate. They do not obey. I tell you, I was talking to Dr. Ratish only, when other day I talked to him and I told him everybody is talking about the influence and impact of COVID situation, but our children were the worst hit. Why? Because, they could not express, they could not go to the schools, they could not discuss or play with their, friends. As it is said that, enthusiasm is very spontaneous, but endurance is, very low. What does it mean? It means that, when we take up any work, when anyone takes up any work, is very enthusiastic about it, that I can do it, right? But then what happens? By and by, when he has to come out from his comfort zone, when he has to push himself harder, then he finds it very difficult. And then his endurance, that is his tolerance, his energy starts giving up. And let me tell you, when this energy gives up and the child is not able to perform well or is not able to do well and is always anxious, then of course, it leads to confusion to the parents, that what has happened to the child, right? Nobody thinks about that there must be other angle of him. Now, what the psychologists say about resilience, they say resilience is adapting well in the face of adversity. When any adversity has come, after that, because man's nature is such that he's able to adapt. He can take any tragedy, trauma, because, every time there is loss of life and property. But even then, people stand up and, they start all over again. The ones who overcome these problems, they are warriors. And these days, if we see, there are so many people, they are going through depression because they could not bounce back. Everyone is not a winner, is not a warrior. Everybody cannot bounce back. It depends on individual and the environment that is surrounding that individual, the family support, his own inbuilt system, right? The people around him, are they assisting him? What kind of thoughts he is going through? Is there any kind of a support around? So that all depends on, and resilience is, that's why we can call it as developing an attitude, a habit, and way of life, that the things come to its normal form, and all over again the things become same. I want to tell that, recently, not recently, last year, when the COVID times strike, I tell you, it was Sushant Singh Rajput, and it was very shocking that the actor who was rising to fame, and he was one who was, everywhere. He had successful films, lot of wealth. What had happened with him? He committed suicide. We saw only one angle, and there were different stories that were taking place. But then I think, there was something else going on in his mind, and he could not recover from that. Probably he lacked that support, and it should not happen to our young children. It should not happen to anyone. So we need to really think about it. We need to talk about this emotional support, and we need to, basically, plan out, what actions are to be taken in case somebody gets trapped into that. It is, there are multiple factors, which develop poor resilience, if we talk about. It can be hereditary, biological factors. Probably when the child was in mother was having the child, was carrying the child, the child was the mother was very afraid, she was scared, and there were multiple reasons, that the child adopted all those things there and then. And it can be a very poor environment, it can be family conflicts, it can be sexual harassment anywhere, it can be any other kind of abuse, bullying, or there can be what we say social stigma prevalent. There it is possible that it might have happened that the child has developed a very low esteem of himself, and he could not come out of it. Now that the child has Ms. Bhardwaj, there is some problem with my slides,
Okay,
probably.
ma'am.
Uh, I want to.
Just a minute. You want to change? Yes, the slide is changing.
No, one before this.
Before this, ma'am. Okay. This one, ma'am?
After this,
After this is this one, ma'am.
this I have already talked about. This is about
Yes.
psychologists define resilience as, and now the
Yes.
next one. So, there are n number of factors that it might have happened that the child has built a very, very poor esteem of himself, or anyone has formed a very poor esteem of himself. We are talking about children, students, so we will talk about children only. So, it can be bullying in the school, or it may be something, which has set the child into a shameful situation, probably, which is not able to disclose, not able to discuss with anyone. And that is why, it has come to this problem. Now, if we talk about this factors of resilience, it is social stigma, or it is biological insecurity, or there can be family conflicts around, or these days homes are breaking, and we actually do not know. I mean, what the children feel about, and because the choice at times come to them that they have to stay with one of the parents, so the child is not able to take it up. Now, when all this happens, so naturally the child takes the back step, and is afraid of mixing, is afraid of talking to someone. This is the time when it should be assured, it should be found out that there is something wrong. And when the schools are open, teachers are able to take a good kind of a notice of everything, that there is some problem, and they inform the coordinator or the principal, and the parents are called. And then it is when it is tried to find out, it is actually found out that there was some kind of problem in the family that the child was going through. Now, as you know uh, resilience is advancing despite adversity. When we talk about resilience, we talk about bouncing back. So adversities are there, situations are there which are pulling the child back, but the child has to bounce back, right? The child has to advance. Now, what is advancing? Advancing is a kind of a goal setting. The child has to set goals. How it will happen? Only if the child is taken care of. The child is shown certain vision, right? Goal orientation. And it is asked from the child, what do you want? What do you want to see? Yes. What do you want to see yourself as? Where you will be, and what you will have to do. You will have to become proactive. You will have to work day and night thinking about your dream. You will have to realize it in your own way. And adversity is not any one tragedy happening at one time. It can be everyday challenges, bigger challenges, smaller challenges, like somebody's friend did not allow her to sit with her the next day. It was somebody else, so the friend changed. So it might have impacted the child. Child's best friend is no more child best friend. It may appear to be a very small thing for we, the grown up people, but then for children, it is a very big thing, because they have their kind of issues, and those issues, I tell you, they lead to big problem if they are not taken care of. Now, how can we basically, when we come to know that there is adversity, there are challenges, and if we talk about, there are in life also, there are many examples of adversity or natural catastrophe. We see to it, earthquakes come, the fires are there, or certain tragedies happen which are beyond the control of a human mind, right? But then life does not stop there. Life goes on. And as Bud's case, Bhopal tragedies case, and many more recent happenings, we have seen it, that the life has not stayed there and then. We find beautiful buildings coming up, people collecting all over, starting refreshed, with a new vigor, because life comes once. And, it definitely cannot be given up like that. We cannot stop living. We have to live. We have to face these challenges, right? So the tragedies, even the natural catastrophes, even tell, see, these things are not in the control of anyone, right? So then of course they break the humans. They in the hour of tragedy, they lose all their senses. They do not remember anything what has to be done then. But then their inner energy, that takes them up, and tells them that there is life further, and then they get up and bounce back, right? So this bouncing back is to be showcased in the children, right, by the superiors. This is what we are going to talk about. Dr. Ginsburg has said, the one who is a child pediatrician, he has said, human development expert proposes that there are 7 integral and interrelated components that make the resilient children. Now, these are day-to-day examples. If we talk about what is that competence. Now, competence of what nature? If we have to talk about competence is, competence to gather oneself, right? To come back to that form, that competence, we are talking about the confidence that I can, I have to. Why? Because I've got a beautiful life. So this confidence, somebody will give them. If they don't have, somebody has to give. Then connect. If the child goes aloof, is frightened, is feeling very scared, then we have to connect, right? And he has to tell, we have to tell him to connect with himself, right? Because the inner power is there inside. And then, of course, that has to be brought to limelight. Character contribution. What kind of child and his environment is. How can we contribute in building that character of fearlessness, of hope, of energy for tomorrow? huh? And then teaching him to cope up with different kind of situations. I remember of one incident. Let me tell you that long back there was a child in one of the classes, and the child was, used to stealing one or the other thing, and the child was from a very good family. Uh, then maybe it is kleptomania. The child was doing it. He was brought to me. I first of all, I found that the child was awestruck. He wasn't responding. He was almost still and was shivering. And then he there only he passed urine. Right, he urinated, and he was not in control of his body. And he was and fifth class child. Then I first made him relax, turned everybody out of the room, talked to the child, what has happened. And then I want to tell you, I did not talk about stealing at all. I started talking about his family, his brothers and sisters, right? What he likes, what he doesn't like. And, then I asked him that, when do you feel nervous? So the child started crying, and he said, I feel very bad because my papa has so many cars, but they don't give me any money. And my all friends, they bring something or the other, and then I feel very bad. And so, I started taking money from the bags of the children, and I was caught. Now my parents will be called. My father, he beats me like anything if I do anything wrong. And saying this, the child fainted. Well, I want to tell you, Dr. Bhardwaj, actually what happened. When it all happened, then we called the child's parents, and we told them to take the child to the doctor, and to start with certain sessions of the child, so that the child may basically come up with this. And after that, the class was controlled, they were told about, and the counseling of the child started. And we worked on all these seven C's. That is, we taught him how to cope up, how to control his emotions, how to control negative emotions of stealing, and how to come up in a better way. So I think, if we, with lot of affection, care, we handle these seven integral interrelated components, that is some total of resilience basically. This is what is resilience. If somebody is competent enough to take care of the situation, is able to connect well to the outside world, is able to cope up, is able to control his emotions, so he's resilient enough, right? Not only this, I want to tell you then, you know, uh, at times what happens whenever there are nervous breakdowns with the children, or sometimes when the children's any fault is blown out of proportion, I tell you, then of course, all these kind of things start happening. And then the children, they they assume certain type of things on their own. For example, sometimes first, to increase resilience, we need to think about three major points. Number one is permanence. What happens is, the if the child has not scored well in one of the tests, and is not confident, then what happens, he starts saying that I cannot do anything, I'm not going to score well in the next test also, I do not know, I will fail. And his fear will probably aggravate to such an extent, then it becomes very difficult to control him, and it results to very, very poor performance, right? At times children assume, because it is their age, 3 to 18, this is age where they assume any kind of things, that so and so person doesn't like me, he's not going to like me at all, right? If we tell that today the person does not like you, maybe tomorrow, with your good virtues, the person is attracted to you and he becomes your good friend, right? So this permanence has to be removed from his mind, that it is going to last forever, right? This has to be removed. Next thing is pervasiveness. The thing is which is prevailing, which is happening, right? Again, in case, somebody has not done anything particular, you know, he had to perform well in one of the exams, and he could not do it. And then, he declared it generalizing, that it is generalizism, that he's not going to do any of the tests better, and it starts prevailing in his mind everywhere. right? He rather generalizes his opinion that he's good for nothing, and so that is why he is not able to do, and that is why the people do not love him, or something like these kind of things start coming to his mind. I think this is the time, when we have to catch hold of such children who talk any negative instances, and we should correct them there and then only. If we are not able to correct them, that okay, it's fairly fine. It happens with everyone once in a while. There is no one on this earth who has not fallen, who has not failed, who has not scored less, right? It happens with everyone. And then like in case we talk about all these things, probably the child will feel wanted, and he'll start improving. He will consider, he will take all those talks in a positive way, and he'll try to set himself well. Now the next one is personalization. Personalization is when we make ourselves the reason for all mishappenings. Suppose we we get to know many stories where the child was born and the family member died in any of the accidents or something. So the child keeps on saying, cursing himself, that I was the one when I was born, my so and so died, right? Or I did not play well, so we lost this match. I am not good in this. I am the one who's not responsible, and because of me, this has happened. Owning to the responsibility of any kind of unhappiness or misfortune is probably be considered that. And now, when these kind of things happen, a good observer, that is the class teacher, when we are talking about increasing resilience in the children, I think it is a subject teacher, it is the class teacher, who has to basically take care of it. And it is a long story, but if we talk about how to build resilience, then we have to have multiple. Over to next slide, please. And then we have to have many things, like we have to tell the children, teach the children about the life skills. There was a tragedy, in the dance school, where it was on fire in Bhopal, and the child had to. All the children jumped from the balcony down, and why? Because they were not taught that they can crawl when there is a smoke in the room. So teaching life skill basically is very very important, right? The schools can teach life and survival skills to the children, so that they can readily face the challenges, right? If a child is scared of failure, for example, the child fears performance, and in that case, we can make him feel the worst case scenario is that what is going to happen in case you are not able to, take 95% marks. What will be the case? The worst scenario, is the heaven going to fall? Will you die? The child will realize that the situation is not grave, right? He'll understand that he'll have more opportunities. And if a student has any problem, we can make him focus on life goals. We can make him understand that these are all unfound fears, and he can come out of it. Generally children talk about that nobody loves us, nobody loves me. Then in that situation we can ask him, what is your goal? What do you want to become? And whatever he says that I want to become so and so, we can help him that okay, for that you have to have goal setting, you have to work in that direction, right? And we should assist the child, right? Not only this, in case there are more resilient people, there are more strong children, we can pair them up with some strong children. So it is said that spending time with the resilient people promotes resilience in others, right? So this way, in case we pair up the children with the stronger children, they'll definitely understand. many times we start ridiculing the child, if he has not performed well, and the child becomes target in the classroom. It is said, never ever reprimand anyone in the public, right? You can applaud, you can appreciate the child in the public, but reprimanding the child should be in isolation. Why? Because you cannot bring his confidence level down. We can motivate him. And in case there are other children, some children who are ridiculing, suppose somebody is fallen, they start laughing, and the child feels low. No, it has to be taught in the class. We have to tell the children that it is okay to fall down once in a while, right? And it is okay to score less once in a while, right? Everybody cannot score very good marks every time, or one. Everybody cannot, stand first in the class. It's okay, right? So the school should focus on positive behavior development and problem solving skills. And why? Because if there will be connectedness in the school, the children will feel belonged to the school. They'll listen to the talks of the teachers. There will be, the school can work in the peer bonding, so that the children do not have animosity. Generally, they become uh, enemies in case somebody is scoring very well or the other one is not able to do. Now, the teachers need to play the role of mentors and help the students consider failures as opportunity. The teacher can very well guide in case you have not done well here, right? But what you can do is, at this time, you need to understand and see and introspect, where did you not do well, and work on that area. And next time, with proper guidance, you will be able to do very, very well. So, this way, the teacher has brought that failure as opportunity and chance to the child, that next time, of course, fine, you can do well. And not and students may have problem. They must focus on life goals, right? They, at times, they are attention seekers, and in case somebody does not listen to them, and they feel bad, they feel dejected, then we have to teach them to share with others the platform, the toys, the joy, and everything, because we can tell them that, alone we cannot do anything. Together we have to achieve everything, right? So that is very important. And sometimes, we overpraise the children, and we keep on praising them. Why? Because we feel that the child will do well. It is kind of conditioning the children. It is not at all a right attitude. It is like a bribe, giving bribe to them. And if we are bribing the children, of course, they will always think about themselves. They'll not be able to cope up with the rough situations, the rough patch of life, right? So for this, it is important that we tell exactly, where the child is has a shortcoming, or the child can be basically corrected, and the child can be motivated. So these all things we have to see. And
So, Gurpreet ma'am, I have quickly one question here from the audience. Can I quickly take it up?
yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so there is a wonderful question here which has popped up stating that what changes we should bring to our education system in order to build this resilience at all the age levels.
Ms. Bhardwaj, I think the curriculum should be set up such like that from day one. The children should be prepared in that direction, right? When in that direction means what? In curriculum framework is not only academic part, right? It should be some total of holistic development of a child, and
True.
in this, the teachers, the parents, and students, everyone should be oriented, right?
True.
And there, the children should be, the everyone should be taught that failure is part of life, because life is not a bed of roses, as I started with, right? And
Yes,
it is
yes.
it is it is it is very difficult. So we have to build it up, and we have to teach the children that it is okay if we do not do well once. We will be able to do well next time, but this will come with proper orientation to the parents, to the teachers, because we all elders become very impatient and we want overnight results. We raise very high expectations, right? We do not understand what the child has in the mind, right? So in case we make it a part of our curriculum, teaching one value, one skill at a time, and repeating that, and by we will be able to see to it we have taught our children to take the failures also, right?
True.
And
Very true.
when we take failures, we become resilient. We are like warriors when we bounce back.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lovely answer, ma'am. And just stating and relating to the same trail, I have second question. Very
Yes.
beautifully, you have pointed out, ma'am. Last year, in the, I think probably in the similar June or July, you have shared one very painful incident of Sushant Singh Rajput. So
Yes.
I feel anxiety, depression, all these states are not only in children, as you very rightly mentioned, and probably we feel that all the age groups are suffering in their own respective levels. What would be your views, especially to our youth generation who is getting into a fast track mode and they are a little lost because they want to do quick things in life, right? So due to that, they enter into a lot of momentum of in and out of anxiety,
Yeah.
depression, loneliness, right? What's your opinion? What they should do in order to build this whole, resilience as one of the strong, I would say, trait.
Two things only. One is talk, second is listen.
Okay.
Talk about your problems, whosoever you feel comfortable about, right? But talk. Do not hide it. Do not keep it to yourself. I am not feeling well. I'm not comfortable. I don't want to talk to. Leave me alone. No, we should talk, and the elders, the people around, they should be able to listen, even if the child is not speaking, through his changed behavior, through his aloofness, through his I tell you, from his basically becoming inward, not participating. So we should listen. These two things should be taken care of. And when anybody talks, and then we are listening to that person, we should give patient hearing. And first of all, it is soothing words which should comfort, telling different type of situations that everybody, we there are so many examples even at world level these days. See the prime minister of the president of America, what he has not lost in the life, and see where he is. He lost young son, he lost his wife, right?
Mhm.
What tragedies he has not gone through, but then where he is, and he is heading the largest power, right? So if we feel that after a soothing words it has not worked, actually immediately there should be clinical reference to a proper counselor who should be counseling. Unfortunately, people are afraid to go to counselors, right? It
True.
is very
Very
painful
true.
situations, right?
Yes.
Counselors are the ones who show you the ways and means. And it is not that counselor, one who goes to the counselor is a mental only. No, the counselors are such physicians, who after listening to you, they tell you different kind of change in lifestyle, right? Taking certain type of things, cribbing your trigger points, these kind of things. If it is taken care of, I think nobody will have to lose their life, right? Friends
Thank
are
you.
very important.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for enlightening this entire area. One final last question I have to you is, and I think a lot of audience across the globe has joined us today for this particular session. So,
Right.
see, a couple of times it so happened that at a very young age, somebody has gone through the I would say, the rough patch in their life at a very young age, probably around 22 or somewhere in the age bracket of 28, right? So, couple of people, as you mentioned, very right, they pick up, but everyone is not a warrior, right? They lose that battle. So, what should these set of people should do in order to come up back in their life?
The confidence that they can, see, if
Yes.
you will make somebody feel that I'll be accepted, right, will be accepted. But then, even then, I think when somebody has gone in a very difficult path, maybe it is drugs or heartbreak, or which is normal, it happens, and gives a lot of learning. Then it is reassurance to yourself that everybody is not a wicked person. There are some saints too, right?
Mhm.
Every dark corner doesn't have cobwebs. Certain dark corners give you hope of thinking, right? And you come up as a wonderful author, right?
True.
So there are certain bulbs, certain areas, they keep on showing you light, showing you target. And of course, first you have to fight with yourself. I know it is very difficult, but some kind of assurance from the family, as I told you earlier, that when we are able to listen that something is going wrong, when somebody tries to become very smart, no, nothing has happened, nothing has happened.
Right.
So you should
Right.
see that it is a changed behavior, right? Why a particular person is behaving or is trying to make himself a hero unnecessarily, where what is wrong. And then after talking, giving the assurance that you are not the only one in the world who has gone through this. People go through, people will not remember this time, right? Important is not that, importance is not on this thing that you have fallen or you have become a victim of anything. The importance will come how you emerged out of it, right? How your energy, internal energy, brought you forth to it. That is important. So I think, they can write it down. They can introspect every day. They can keep on thinking and working on that analysis patch, that where we went wrong and how we can set it right. I think it is fairly fine. This is what Deepika says. I have listened to certain, her areas. She has said that earlier I was feeling dejected. Why this only me? Why only me? But then she said, by and by, I realized it is not only me. There are many people it happens with, right? So I have to make my own platform. I have to move ahead. So your internal energy, inner energy, right, which God has infused in you, that is there, but it will wake up only when you will make it wake up, right? So
Yes,
this is where.
yes. Thank you so very much, Gurpreet ma'am. I think so so many brilliant insights you have shared, and I'm sure the audience have got lot of value addition to their lives. And it's truly the kind of experience and the enriching journey you have gone through. And I'm sure a lot of good compliments and comments we are getting from our audience here. So that shows pretty much that they are so very much able to relate to the topic so well. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for sharing your wonderful experience, your journey, and giving us such a wealthy and, I would say, enriching experience. Thanks a lot once again. Over to you, Dr. Malka.
Will I not be allowed another 2 minutes? Just that.
Sure, ma'am. Why
I,
not? Please.
I wanted to say only one more thing, that let's all lead our children to de-stress from distress. They
Wow.
are in distress, so we can de-stress them. Why? Because see, the most effective attitude to adopt is one of supreme acceptance, right? That is, I if I have accepted that something has gone wrong, and if I have that energy that I can change it, or I can change it with the help of others, I should do it, because life is very precious, right?
True.
And I think it is a supreme form of life which God has created, and nobody has a right to destroy it this way. And I think we should save it, protect it, we can enrich it by talking to each other, and by showing giving proper guidance to our children. And to my word to our teachers, the takeaway only is this, that create opportunities for the children, let them participate, let them do wrong or bad or good, it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, we only celebrate success, right?
True,
We do not
true.
see the pain taken or effort taken during making anything, or how honest means the child has adopted, or sincere effort somebody has done. I really feel pain when somebody who scored 95.9% stands first, and somebody who's at 95% goes unnoticed. It is very bad.
True.
Even if somebody has achieved 50%, he must have gone through lot of effort, to reach to that area. So effort taken should be appreciated, and not only the success. If we want to change the world, if we want to salute the efforts as the board is doing these days, we are always after marks, after grades. No, actually it should be the continuous effort of somebody, which we should take care of, and then nobody will lag behind probably. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you so very much, ma'am. And on this particular, we are pretty much at the end of our closing ceremony. So, Dr. Malka, over to you for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sunesh. Thank you so much. Well, I would like to thank our guest of the day on behalf of the entire Edukos team, Ms. Gurpreet Mathurji. Ma'am, you've been wonderful and you've enlightened all of us this evening. And yes, as we can see on the live session as well, lot many news, a lot many questions pouring in, lot many appreciations pouring in, and actually people did enjoy the session, because a lot of learning, and a lot of takeaways we've taken as educators, and how to deal with our children during these difficult times. And ma'am, as you rightly said, that yes, we need not evaluate or look at our children on basis of marks. I do agree with that, because see, life is beautiful and all of us have one life, be it a success, be it a failure. We all have our roles to play, and automatically, live life beautifully. That's what I would say, because life is wonderful. And this COVID period has actually made us realize how beautiful life is, and what is the value of life, which somewhere in the rat race we all had been neglecting, and we were all running after success. Thank you so much for enlightening us this evening, and sharing all your valuable inputs and experiences. And of course, once I was going through the video of your wonderful journey, it's like, wow, I must say. And of course, I would also place on record my thanks to our founder, Dr. Ratish, for such an initiative, and my friend Rita as well, who started the session with a lot of energy, since it was our first session, I would say. So, friends, in case there are any lacunas from any one of us, do excuse us. We will come up with better things next time. So now I would want the team, entire team, to come over the screen, and we would like to present a token of gratitude to our speaker this evening.
I faltered in screen sharing somewhere. I know I could not come up that well.
Ma'am,
No
this is
problem,
for
ma'am. I
you.
think it was one. This is for you, ma'am, from our side.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Dr. Ratish and wonderful team, Rita, Mrs. Grewal, and Mrs. Bhardwaj. Thank you very, very much.
It's our pleasure, ma'am, to hear you, and your gracious presence has made our evening. So thank you so very much. And I'm sure all my viewers, listeners have lot to improve on. And I'm sure this session, this very first session of REK Talks, is going to add a lot of value. So stay tuned, because we are coming up with something new more. And yes, this platform is going to add a lot of value addition in terms of your personal life, professional life. That's how we grow. So we believe in commitment, dedicated to committed transformation. That's the mantra which I think Dr. Ratish and the entire team of Edukos family is living with. So thank you so very much, ma'am, once again. And My thanks is incomplete without thanking all my wonderful, lovely co-hosts. No doubt my entire team who has worked on back-end support day in, day out to make sure this program should be a success. So thank you so very much, everybody. And my special thanks to Dr. Ratish for inviting me on this wonderful platform, giving all of us a great opportunity to share our own views and opinion. Thank you so very much. Over to you, Dr. Ratish. Dr. Ratish, are you around? Anyways, I think he is not around.
I think it's only the time for the ladies to be on the screen.
No, I think
Can
he's
you hear me?
joining right now. Yes, we can hear you, sir. So, yes, sir, over to you.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Ratish.
It's a very wonderful session. Thank you. It's a very, very wonderful session, and thanks to all, and very thanks to Miss Gurmeet Mathur.
You always take my name wrong. I'm Gurpreet Mathur.
Wait, ma'am, 2 minutes.
Actually, ma'am, that's all the excitement of this wonderful new venture.
Yeah. And I was actually nervous, in my 40 years of educational career. I was very nervous because this, stage and studio like experience was altogether a new experience.
But Gurpreet ma'am, the good thing is it just did not show through, so don't worry at all. It's very smooth, and I wanted to convey that to you, that though initially you were worried, everything was smooth and it didn't show outside, and of course everyone else. So that is good.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Ratish, you're audible now.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Gurpreet ma'am. Is it okay? Gurpreet ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. Lots of thanks, Malka Gewal ma'am, Sonesh ma'am, and Rita ma'am. Really.
Yeah.
The entire Edukos United family. So, REKTALKS will tomorrow. Dr. Parul Mishra we will invite, and just like mental health coach and director of Mind Eye Counseling Organization. So I will invite to all tomorrow session, and I will share tomorrow link. Sure, ma'am. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, stay happy, stay safe, and have lots and lots of positive vibes. Love, peace, and abundance to all of you. Enjoy your life. Have a safe life. Good evening.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.